pencil. What do you call like pencils? Yeah.
I didn't bring her. Can I just write my name?
Not today.
I just fixed it and now we don't.
You'll probably get to use it tomorrow.
Yay.
What was wrong with him?
Wait, Ben left?
No.
Where is he?
He's not here.
I saw me possibly.
Ben, we went out. Now we're going today in the morning.
Yeah, I was. More than I.
Yeah.
I probably went early to leave.
Okay, where's your journal? Where's
We
your
cannot
pencil?
start- we
Where's your
can't
pencil?
start without Ben.
Oh, no way.
We need at least 2 colors.
Can I borrow?
You don't have any?
No.
Oh, yeah.
What? I was on packing things to put the phone book in there and then I forgot to put what I was supposed to.
I know.
2, 2, 3. You want 3 or 2?
I want 2.
3.
Where's here? I want that.
Billington, did you say you need some too?
No, I said you want me to have 2 or 3.
2.
Can Billington have yours? I don't like those.
Beggars can't be choosers, buddy.
Y'all have a sharpener now? Does it work?
Yes.
Why wouldn't it work?
All right, guys. So it'll break.
Yeah. And then I will have to do it.
You will.
Wait, if I break off all my fingers, can I do I still have to do what?
Yep.
Your pencils?
All right. Today, talking about shadows and the height, proportion of height and shadow, and how we can find missing measurements. What's up?
I don't know what it means. Can I explain?
Why do we have shadows?
Oh, because the sun reflects was, and then we block off the sunlight, so then it makes it dark.
So we block the sunlight. I like it.
Yeah, shadows because God made us that way.
So what is, does our shadows stay the same all day?
No, sometimes it gets short.
Depends on the time.
Yeah.
I like it. Depends on the time of day.
Sundial.
A sundial.
Sundial. What is a sundial?
I don't think I've ever used the sundial.
What's a sundial?
Basically, it blocks the light short time. So say it's like this, and then
Oh, it's the clock. The clock that people used to use.
yeah, back in like the 1600s.
Okay,
I use
so to learn a bit about,
Yes, brain pop.
no, to learn a little bit more about shadows and why we have them.
We're gonna get smart.
So smart.
That's impossible for me, huh? No.
No, you're smart. Here we go.
Smartest in this class. I'm gonna go to
Make sure y'all are listening.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever noticed, maybe on a nice summer evening, when you're running around outside, that your shadow looks super long, but then at other times of the day, it's really short? What's up with that? Does your shadow have a mind of its own, like Peter Pan's? Nope. I mean, I hope not. That would be strange. To understand how shadows move over time, let's talk about what a shadow is exactly. Say you're standing outside in the sun and you spot your body's shadow. Your body is solid. That means it can block sunlight. Since sunlight can't pass through your body, it makes a dark area behind it, opposite from the direction the sun is coming from. This dark part where the sunlight can't reach is your shadow. So why doesn't this dark patch stay in the same spot throughout the day? Well, for one thing, you move, so your shadow moves with you. But let's pretend you stand in the same spot all day long. No, wait, that sounds super boring. Just picture something that doesn't move around, like a tree or a building. its shadow would still move throughout the day. That's because the shadow is made by the light of the sun, and the sun is constantly moving in the sky. Well, you know it's not really the sun that's moving. You should get its path from east to west. Cool, huh? And since the movement of the sun follows patterns during the day, so does the movement of shadows. Any idea what those shadow patterns might look like? Let's find out.
Investigation.
We'll follow the sun for a day and see how it changes the shadow of a specific object. Then we can chart the length and the direction of the shadow from morning to evening to see which patterns we can spot. First, let's pick an object that stands still, not running around all crazy. Like, how about a lamppost? Say one that's about 4 meters tall. Now let's start early in the morning, 7 a.m. Sun, show us what you got. The lamppost has a pretty long shadow this early in the morning, and it looks like it's extending to the west. What happens to the shadow if we fast forward to 9 a.m.? Interesting. The shadow's still pretty long, but not quite as long as at 7 a.m. And it's still stretching out towards the west. So let's see what happens at 11 a.m. Well, look at that. The shadow's even shorter, but again, still pointing westward. So in the morning, it looks like the lamppost shadow starts out long and gets shorter as we get closer to noon. But they all extend to the west. What happens at noon? Hardly any shadow. The sun is high in the sky at noon, almost directly overhead. Depending on where on Earth an object is, its shadow will usually point north or south at noon rather than east or west. Let's see what happens to the shadow in the afternoon, jumping to 2 p.m. Looks like the shadows are getting a little bit longer again now that the sun's going lower in the sky. But unlike in the morning, the shadow is now pointing east. Will the shadow continue to get longer at 4 p.m.? Yep, it's definitely getting longer. Still pointing east, too. How about 6 p.m.? The shadow's about as long as it was in the morning, right? But again, unlike in the morning, the shadow is stretching out towards the east. So what patterns did we see the lamppost shadow follow? Let's look at these 2 bar graphs that recorded our observations. In the first graph, we've charted the length of the lamppost shadow.
All right. I know that was a lot to take in really fast. That's the point of crash course.
What's that?
Crash course, a lot of information in a little bit of time. But I want you to see here that over time our shadows change because of the placement of the what? The placement of the sun. So at 7 a.m. we thought about that light post or lamp post. The shadow was 7 meters long. That's pretty long. But as time went on and it got closer to noon, that shadow went away. It got shorter and shorter and shorter. But then the sun started going down again. And the shadow got long. Good. So today we're going to talk about how we can find the length of our shadow if we know the length of something else's shadow.
Isn't this math?
This is math.
Oh, I thought this was like science. Yeah.
No.
I mean, is there something wrong with the science? I like
All
that.
right. You like that sound? Okay. So if I gave you the measurements of this house, how tall is it?
It's 220,000 inches. I mean, 220.
220 inches. And how long is its shadow?
1,980.
How can you see that through there?
I
Memorize it. Smart. Okay. And then you're gonna go and stand next to the building.
Can that be me?
Sure.
Give me
Can we
curly
draw
hair.
his hair?
Yeah, give me my hair, my broccoli hair.
Here, I'll give you your broccoli here.
Yay. But it looks like Abraham Lincoln.
So your height, I'm gonna say you're about 5'2".
I'm 5'2". I'm 5'2".
Ooh, big brain. All right,
No, I'm 5'4". My bad. That's my sister. My sister's 5'2".
okay.
You're not black.
I'll say you're 5'4". That's fine. So Jacob is 5'4". So we want to know that in inches.
Well,
You-
a
Divide
foot
by
is 60. A foot is 60
Six
inches.
inches.
No, 64.
A foot is how many inches?
12 inches.
1 foot.
Oh, yeah, 12. Yeah,
12
60
inches.
Yeah, not 6.
So if you multiply that by 5, 12 times 5 would be,
60 plus 4 is 64.
so I'm 64 inches tall.
64 inches tall.
I'm 57. I'm 4.
I need 64 inches. I want to know the length of his shadow. So I want you to talk at your table. Billington, if you talk with them. Okay, get back up. Back up. You cannot be that close to him. Back up some more.
I'm in the line.
Back up some more. Talk with your partners and try and brainstorm a way that you can solve for Jacob's shadow. Why don't you talk with him?
Yeah.
And so that, then we just multiply half by 9. What? Why does it just multiply by 9?
Yeah.
I never said that. What?
That's how tall I am.
Well, that's how it goes. 5 something inches, 506. I don't think that's like,
There's a Zoom, I'm just noticing.
we're on Zoom.
We're famous.
Oh. I think I'm right. Oh, that's kind of tall for your shadow. No, you still have to divide it by 12 to get your answer. Oh.
We're gonna use calculators.
We're gonna use calculators.
Just for today, because the numbers are really big.
Okay, so,
Okay, do we have any ideas?
so you, okay, can I tell you mine?
And, okay. Christina, go back to your chair now. All right, what's your idea?
Okay, my idea is that you need to divide you need to divide 220 into 1980, and then you get 9. So then you do 9 times 64, you get 536. Divide that by 12, and you get 48. That'll be your shadow. And
So how long did you say it was in inches?
576 in inches.
Okay,
My shadow's tall.
that's different. I like it. Did y'all have any ideas?
Yes. I do. The same idea that he had.
So you have the same idea.
Copy me, okay?
Yes, no.
I
What
have no
if-
idea.
I did this.
This looks like Jacob is a 1.
What shape does that make though?
For the triangle. Yeah. They're running the 6.
It's not a straight line.
Oh.
Okay, let's act like it's a straight line because I'm not an artist.
Not straight. Well, you literally went. You went Picasso this crap.
Okay,
Oh my
So-
god, guess what I just noticed? It's like the triangles you were practicing
Oh my
on.
gosh.
yes, yes,
No,
yes,
no,
yes. And what are those triangles called?
They are called
Triangles.
square split in half.
That's correct.
What kind of figures?
Property of height shadow. Oh no, that's it.
Similar figures. That's a
Yes.
big word.
Oh.
Similar figures. Now can you figure it out?
Yes.
No.
No, that's not good.
So what's our first step of
We
solving?
have to
numbers
put
exam?
that, we have to name them by A, B, and C, right?
Yeah, I know.
You don't have to.
But I want to.
Let's identify what kind of size.
A.
You know it starts with a C.
Contract.
Congruent size. Corresponding size?
Corresponding sides. Our matching sides. All right, so if I highlight X, what side corresponds with that side in the big triangle?
Already know it's 1,980.
1,980 inches. And if I highlight 64, that corresponds with
Oh, 220 inches.
220 inches.
This is small. You have a-
I fit it. What? Oh, what is it called?
This
You're
is so
lost.
complicated.
How can I help you?
I'm confused. I was like, no.
My coconut brain ain't ready for this.
I thought you just said you're the smartest kid in the class. You're smart. I'm smart.
I am, well, he's the smartest kid in the class.
I'm better at social studies.
Okay, guys,
I stuck
let's stay on track.
I'm better at being a mistake. I'm confused on what to do. Let's see the wrong thing.
Did you draw the picture?
Yeah, a drawing, a triangle, and then another thing.
Can I make mine short?
That's fine.
Big.
So our proportion, instead of doing like AB over EF, you know, naming the lines,
Put 64, 220, and then.
we're gonna go by colors. So we're gonna do what, Joseph?
You do X over 1,980.
So we're gonna do yellow over yellow equals blue over blue. And then we can do what?
Oh, butterfly.
Crossover butterfly.
Yeah, but we have to plug in our links first.
Yes, ma'am.
So our links of yellow to yellow
That's
are what, Taylor?
Or what?
Yellow to yellow. Yellow to yellow.
X over 1,980.
Very good. X over 1,980 is equal to blue over blue. Billington, what's that gonna look like?
64 over 240.
64 over 220.
That hurts.
I'm sorry.
I don't have a story.
Now what, Christina?
Oh, that's
You need to go to the restroom? Let me check the spreadsheet.
what's a spreadsheet?
Yeah, check out the one back.
Oh, just now?
Yeah, it's magic, buddy.
Wow.
No, it's actually because there's no more than 2 people walking at a time. You know how to do that.
All right.
You have to ruin my house.
What do we do after we find our proportion?
You divide.
No, you would have to simplify it and really simplify it.
No.
And then
Yeah, you have to do. You have to do the butterfly.
Butterfly method. How do I do that? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Genesis, how do I do butterfly method?
You do X times 220, which would equal 220 X, and then you do 1,980 times 63.
What did you get for that?
Oh, I know. Multiply that? Maybe 126,000 minus 1
Now what do I do, Sam?
You divide it by 220, then you get, what is it, 576.
So we're gonna divide both sides by 220. 220 divided by 220 is what? It's 1. So we have 1x equals,
576.
is it 576?
Yep. Divided by 576. Oh,
It's probably bigger.
don't let them in.
Hi.
Oh, I was wondering if I'm missing.
All right.
Is that? Oh, here you go. Thank you, Mr. Martin.
Thank you.
Hey, Sam, was that your original answer?
I was gonna say, yeah.
Whenever you were talking about dividing and stuff?
Yeah,
Do you know why?
Back.
I was just doing my best.
How did you know to divide?
I just guessed. I was knowing that to get that number, you have to divide those two, and you get to multiply that one by hit your x.
Do you know what dividing those two numbers is called?
No.
What you're finding?
Yes.
Oh.
Finding the variable.
You found what's called the ratio.
Ratio.
We
That's a
learned
fun
that.
word.
It is a fun word, isn't it?
I don't like ratios.
So, by the time you leave today, our essential question of the day today is how can you use a proportion to solve for a missing measurement in a real world situation? You don't have to answer it right now,
No. No,
but this is what you're going to learn. It is math.
the more you know.
It's on that.
Do we write this down?
There's one
No,
more.
not right now.
Going by the
Okay. I want you on this paper.
We do.
Is Ollie gonna stay over there? Over there,
Ollie's not here today.
I sit over there with Ollie, but
I ain't never come. to
how is
somebody.
that fair? So then Jacob can sit over here?
No, y'all talk too much.
No, we'll promise if you sit us down next time.
You keep saying I promise every time I promise.
Okay, you don't need to snitch about it.
All right, guys. Here we go. So, Jacob, will you read where it says at 6 a.m.?
6 a.m., 9 a.m., 12 a.m., 3 p.m., 6 p.m.
Right here.
At 6 a.m.
Oh, there. At 6 a.m., the tree is at 180 inches tall, and the shadow is 240 inches long.
So the shadow
That's very long.
is how long?
180 in tall.
No,
Oh, but the shadow is
240.
240.
240 inches long. So underneath where it says at 6 a.m., I want you to draw a tree. It does not have to be beautiful.
It does.
Draw a tree.
Wait,
Under where it says at 6 a.m. Draw your tree. I want you to have the lines to show how tall it is and how long the shadow is.
but I have to make my tree perfect.
And then next to that, I want you to draw Jacob. With his curly hair.
Did you ask why you have to draw me? Because I'm beautiful. That's that. Oh, model. That should be a model.
Stay focused. All right. Now the height of Jacob is going to stay the same. How tall was he?
Something.
5'4".
No, 5'4".
He's 5'4", but in inches,
Oh, 60 something.
64 inches. Did the problem tell us his shadow length?
No.
No. So that's our unknown. Raise your hand and tell me our first step of solving. What do we need to do first after we draw? What am I color coding this as?
That's, and 240, and then, well, that's one color, and then the next color, you do 64 and 180 or something.
Good, so we're finding our what's, what are these called?
Alright, and
If you can't remember the word,
corresponding.
Corresponding, that's the other. Wait, no, but actually, you have to draw the line and make it a triangle.
you don't have to. But if you want to, that is perfectly fine. Jacob wants to go the extra mile.
And draw it over Jacob's face.
Are y'all trying to kill me? I don't have to.
Hey, I'm not gonna say Jacob, we can't do that.
You
Okay,
literally said clock on face.
We have an actual.
guys,
Any extra what?
someone raise your hand, tell me what my proportion
I
is
don't have
going
earbuds.
to look like.
Yes.
I don't have earbuds.
Okay.
What is my proportion going to look like, Mr. Billington?
Yellow over yellow.
Yellow over yellow is equal to blue over blue. I have a question.
Yes.
Can I put any yellow or any blue in either of those spots?
I mean, yeah, you kind of have to.
I can. It doesn't matter which yellow goes where or which blue goes
Oh,
where.
no, it does, because then you need, then you
What is it? Why does it matter, Genesis? Do you know?
I do.
You have to have what? Because what did we do? Normally we do what to our figures?
Number one and number two.
Oh, remember that.
We number them, and what always goes on top? Number one always goes on top. So we're gonna do yellow 1, yellow 2, blue 1, blue 2. Sam, what is whenever I plug in my numbers, what is this gonna look like?
So it's gonna be. It's gonna be 180, wait, no, it's gonna be X over 64. And then 180 over 240.
X over 64. Whatever, it's yellow over yellow, blue over blue. 64 yellow.
Blue. That'd be 240.
X over 240, good, is equal to blue over blue.
That'd be 64 over 180.
Very good, yes. All right, I want you all to try and cross multiply, and then we'll do what? Cross multiply and divide. Go ahead and solve it.
I doubt that's right.
All right, raise your hand, tell me what you got. Sam, what'd you get?
85.33 little ball on top.
85.33. And what does that little bar represent?
It means it keeps going on. Oh, Lord.
Very good. Okay. Everybody have this down?
Yes.
Wait. I remember 85.33.
Yes.
Okay, but how-
All right. I want you, let's just draw number 2 together. So at 9 a.m., Billington, read to me what happens at 9 a.m.
At 9 a.m., the tree is 140 inches tall, and the shadow is 200 inches tall.
So did the shadow change lengths?
Yes.
Did the tree change lengths?
No.
No. Did Jacob change heights?
No. I mean, maybe. We don't Superman.
If he was Superman, he didn't change heights, so he's still 64 inches tall. And we still don't know the length of his shadow because it's a new time of day. Is his shadow going to be different? Yes. So I want you to go through the steps and try to find how long Jacob's shadow is going to be. Make sure you show all of your work color coordinating.
Make sure that you write your proportions over here. I know this is helping you, but if you go to the look for it in the test, you'll be able to find it.
So if I color my corresponding sides. Jacob, give me my corresponding sides.
Right now,
Yes, sir.
it's 64 and 180 inches.
Nice.
X and
Okay. So we have blue over blue equals yellow over yellow. 1, 2. 1, 2. Make sure you number your figures. If I plug in my links, what does my proportion look like, Sam?
Oh, it'd be 64 over 180 and then x over 200.
64 over 180 is equal to x over 200. Very good. What did you do, Genesis?
Then you do the circle method
Uh-huh.
for multiplying.
For multiplying, so 64 times 200, you got what?
12,800.
12,800. And x times 180,
180.
Castillo, what do I do from here?
We divide
By what?
by 64.
I want to get rid of this 180.
Oh, we divide by that.
Ah. X equals what, Mr. Billington?
71.1.
71.
I got that.
11?
Yeah.
Is it repeating?
Yes,
So what do we put on top?
stop the little happy line. I got that, miss.
Yes.
Look, I got that.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I got all of them.
Yeah. Okay. In your journal. Your question?
Oh, I'm just gonna say what people are saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll put it over. No, it's one.
In your journal, I want you to list like 1 through however long it takes you, the procedures that we took. So what did we do step by step to find the missing link? Okay. Sorry. Gonna try it yourselves. All right, what's my first step?
You number them?
Castillo, what's your first step?
Number them?
Number what?
Yellow, yellow, blue, blue.
So what are we finding there? What is it? What is it called?
Corresponding.
There we go. Corresponding sides. Color them, right?
Yeah.
Color them. What do I do after that, Sam? Can you tell me off the top of your head without looking at your notebook? What do we do after we find the corresponding sides?
Oh, you put yellow over yellow usually, and then blue over blue. Or
Good.
what name is it?
Yellow over yellow, blue over blue. Mr. Billington, what do I do after I set that up?
Then you have to put the numbers in.
Put the numbers in, good. So put numbers in. What do I do after I put the numbers in? Genesis? Butterfly method, or what can we also call that?
Cross one.
Cross multiply.
Is there a cross division? Wait, I know what you could call a cross division. The Moss method.
Oh. So what do I do after I cross multiply? Lucio?
After you've done something, I got it.
Divide.
And then in step 6, you get your answer, and then you put it down.
Yeah, that's our answer.
You
Yeah,
add one
something
more.
else?
You add one more profit. You gotta profit off the oil.
Profit,
Yes, profit. Make that money.
divide by the number next to X. Okay, guys. You can go ahead and clean your chair, start packing up. Time to roll out.
Okay, stop recording. Do you mind if I talk to her really fast? I'm sorry.